Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to our Mystery Tournament 16 Top 8 Showdown. Mystery Tournament 1 goes all the way back to 2012, which makes Mystery Tournament the oldest and longest running tournament in all of speedrunning, and today we write a new chapter in this ongoing story. 121 entrants have been narrowed down to just the top 8. And over the course of this 2-day event, we're going to find out which of them is our MT16 champion. The premise of Mystery Tournament is simple. Our runners today will be racing each other in games they have never played before. The games are revealed just minutes before the race, and armed with only a brief rundown of relevant info about the game and their own innate gamer senses, they will be tackling a wide variety of our very hardest, very weirdest, and very bestest games. I am Mythical9, and I am happy to be joined on commentary by tournament organizer and noted Gubble enthusiast, Internet Dirigible. Hello.
Hello, man. Love Gubble.
He can't get enough of it. I'm also joined by one of our top 8 players today, our top analyst, and the best heel Mystery Tournament has ever had. It's Maurice.
Hey, what's up?
So, we've got a bunch of players for you today, and thankfully we figured out how to show you who they all are at the last moment. So we can go ahead and take a look at the bracket, which I guess we don't get to see. So I have to have a separate view up to see it myself. But that's okay. At the top, I don't know, should we run down each of our players?
Yeah, I think that would be a good intro to do. Very first, I guess at the top, and so we've got both winners and losers. This is a double elimination tournament. At the top, we have Someone 325 versus Captain Drake. Someone 325 is newer, but has in both previous tournaments knocked the previous champion into losers bracket, so is clearly very, very good. Versus Captain Drake, who is a mystery tournament mainstay and always gets in top 8 or at least very close to it.
Yeah, if you had to, like, if I had to bet money on who will win and I couldn't pick myself, then I would pick Someone 325, 100%.
On that note, Maurice is in the next match versus Adam 325. Or no, sorry, Someone 325. We just say Adam numbers. I don't know Adam's numbers.
This is why we say Adam numbers.
Yeah, that's why we say Adam numbers. Maurice has previously won Mystery Tournament and is the only actual live competitor that you get to hear on commentary today. Adam has never won, but has been consistently good, and this year is really popping off with their times. So I'm really looking forward to what we can see.
And let me skip ahead down to Okami of Games versus Boney. So Okami of Games is joining Mystery Tournament for the first time, so technically a newcomer, but has been chopping it up over at a very similar competition called Kusa Grande and consistently doing amazing there. So it's not such a surprise to see them in top 8. And they're just, they're very, very, very good. One of the matches they played before getting into top 8 was in a Mega Man X like Toho fan game, Udongen X or something, and looked absolutely unstoppable. Had the testers questioning if we should have had them play on a harder difficulty because they just made it look so easy, left their opponent in the dust. So expect good things from that match. Boney is the one you want to root for, I think. The longtime mystery community event organizer and moderator has shown he's still got it as a player. He's here for the second time in top 8, not since like Mystery Tournament 4 or something. He dropped his first game in a very close match of platformer fan game Small Ame versus DOSBox Falco, and then won the next 7 matches back-to-back on one of the greatest losers bracket runs we've ever seen. So is the underdog here. And so if you want to root for the underdog, that's who it is.
Yeah, Boney is also the surprise guest. Like the winners bracket participants, they're all like regulars. Then we got Trisscorp, also a regular. We got 2 new people who have shown in other tournaments that they're good, like Neetsel and Okami. And then we got Boney, who I don't think anyone expected Boney to make it. So that's even more exciting.
Nothing against Boney, he's a great player, but not typically at the very, very upper echelon here. So we're very excited to see him in top 8.
And I left out the other 2 players because they are going to be our first match. It is Neetsel versus Trisscorp. We mentioned Neetsel very briefly, newcomer to Mystery Tournament, but played in one of our sort of side events that we had called Steam Tournament, which the rules were like pretty lax. You were just kind of playing a game that both you and your competitor both owned on Steam and hadn't played yet, right? So it was a way for both of you to work through your backlog and also have a bit of fun. But that didn't necessarily mean that the game you were competing in was a good one to race and really determine who was the better player. But you don't win something like that without at least having some serious skills. And so those skills were put to the test and proven as Neetsel got into top 8 by defeating probably the greatest mystery player we've ever had, Andy and 4H, in a fantastic upset. Just looked so strong.
Yeah, Red Trigger was kind of it was like a first-person puzzle game, which I think are always interesting because it's like a balance of executing things fast and also figuring out what you need to do. In first-person puzzle games, it's not immediately obvious what the parts of the puzzle even are. So you have to kind of look around while also working towards the solution. So I think that always makes for a great blind race.
And is up against Trisscorp, of absolutely regular face in our top 8 events. I hasn't missed one, right? Ever since Trisscorp made top 8.
Trisscorp is incredibly consistent. That is the number one Trisscorp trait that everyone should try to be when they grow up, is consistently good. Sometimes Trisscorp's never won, so because a lot of times to win you have to have a really good game, and you're like, wow, that was uncharacteristically good. But Trisscorp is just good at a consistent level.
Yeah, got into top 8, denying Arcbliss the top 8 spot, defeating him in a race of Alter Ego, an NES port of an old ZX Spectrum game. He posted a time that was so fast in that game, it beat every other blind race we found of that game, including a blind race recorded by Arcbliss himself, who had played the game and forgot that he had. So wasn't even playing the game for the first time and was still beaten by several minutes. That's just how
beaten
strong.
Handily, yeah. Well beaten. So it was quite a match. And we're really looking forward to these 2 players. I think we're probably good to go to move into the match.
Yeah, the fresh-faced newcomer versus the old veteran. Internet Dirigible. I feel like we may have started the show with the showstopper here with our first game.
This is an excellent game. Most of them are showstoppers, in my opinion. I think we have a really, really good, solid layout of games over the next couple days for you guys. Top 8's a little different. In the normal tournament, we just pull a random game, and it just gets pulled, and it's just all the games that we get are submitted by the players in the tournament, and we just pull a random one and they play it, assuming they haven't played it before. Right now, we sort of curate the best games to be in this top 8 bracket on Games Done Quick channel, just for everyone watching. And so we are excited to see what's coming up. This one, I'm so used to, because the games are so mysterious. I never reveal it until I know that it's up on stream. I never reveal the name. So we're so used to doing that on our channel. But yeah, really anything goes in Mystery Tournament as long as it's free and you can easily get it. Anything goes. It could be anything, which is the number one best thing about Mystery Tournament, in my opinion.
All right, I'm ready to get into it. I don't know what signal we have to light the flare to let the people down in the trenches know to kick this thing off. But I think we're ready to go.
As soon as I get the signal, I can make the race room go.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's switch into the let's switch into the match. We are going to be seeing a game called Barkour, and this is what is this? It's a platformer, I guess, but it definitely does not control like you would expect a platformer to control.
It's
Yes, you could call this. I'm not sure what you would call it. It sort of takes inspiration from Rage platformers, I suppose, kind of like Getting Over It and things like that, where just the controls are very strange, and that's kind of the point of the game.
You do have checkpoints in this game, which makes it a lot less ragey.
That's very true, and you can't, you're not trying to travel vertically. Wow, Trisscorp with an immediate. Both getting caught up by this. So the mechanics of this are you move the analog stick up and down to move the legs of the dog so you can Barkour around this whole arena. And then you can bark, and the direction you're facing when you bark kind of pushes you back in the other direction. It's a really strong bark. It just moves the air so effectively that you can fly using it. You only get one bark per jump, though.
Yeah, so like you said, the controls are moving the legs and barking and also rotating yourself. So it's kind of like those old Flash BMX games that we played back in the day. So if you hold right, your dog is going to rotate clockwise and the other way. And so by rotating to the right and kind of having your dog sideways almost, and then jumping, you can jump very far to the side.
You also probably want to rotate at least in some direction before you bark, because your default facing forwards, your bark is going to go backwards. Though we can see Neetsel's already in a section where a backwards bark could definitely help you sort of do this S-turn maneuver.
Yes, this game is pretty difficult to control. I think all of us here have played this in preparation for commentary. Would you say, Maurice, being the most experienced among us, I'll ask you, that this is a game where you should kind of just go fast and push your luck and do what you can, or where you should be really deliberate?
No, I think you should definitely push your luck. You can see on Trisscorp's screen, he's currently on the blue checkpoint on the left, and the next checkpoint is already up there. So that's only like 4 jumps to make it up there. It's basically free, so just kind of go for it,
Basically free. Yeah. No challenge at all.
I think these players would beg to differ. They have been on this checkpoint for a while, and this goal has got like a sort of a decent length to it. So, oh my God, Neetsel's going for some kind of crazy skip there.
So you do have to actually touch the checkpoints in this game. So if you do a skip, you are skipping the checkpoint, which is a pretty massive risk.
Yeah, I don't think that was like a calculated risk on Neetsel's part, though. I think they hit the buttons and they were like, "Oh, I'm over here now."
Yeah, might as well try. When I played, I noticed that like just use the bark as much as possible, and the way the bark recharges is that when you touch the ground, you get it back. So, and immediately like touched the ceiling almost and was able to bark again, which could have saved him.
He went over the
Neetsel
checkpoint.
skipped the checkpoint.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty concerned that this needs to go well.
He's already doomed, I think. Well, can he bark his way up that steep cliff?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
No, you can mash the bark as long as you're touching the ground.
Oh, you're right.
With your legs. That's the important part. So right now he can mash bark.
Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 bark.
Nice.
Bark, 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 bark. Oh, look, he tucked his legs in for a smoother ascent.
Oh, but he should have kept going to get the checkpoint.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure Neetsel knows that they've missed it at this point. We saw Trisscorp miss a checkpoint, go all the way back, and is like, oh, okay, I need to hit them. Neetsel has just kind of happened to hit them along the way. So I think maybe Neetsel just learned that lesson.
Also, Neetsel...
Unfortunately, Neetsel, lost their progress here. Since we're still sort of in intro territory here, I just want to mention that there are kind of two main mystery skills. There's execution and there's like learning, like how well you can pick up on not only what the game is asking for you, but how much you can push the limits of the mechanics and that kind of thing.
Oh, look at Neetsel.
And I think we... Go ahead.
Neetsel is doing so well, like using the rotational force, because actually you can, like when you have your snout, I guess, on top of a cliff, you can actually like pull yourself up the cliff by rotating like towards it.
Right.
Just in general.
Just like getting over it, you have that leverage on your rotation.
Huh?
There's the jump. They've sort of spotted the tell in the level geometry of like this little ledge here is probably here for a reason, and indeed that is where you want to be jumping. And like you were talking about Internet's Original, noticing that kind of thing is such an important part of doing well in Mystery Tournament.
Absolutely, and we see the same people. You know, we have some newcomers here, but we see the same people consistently doing well. Sometimes at the very top, you know, there's just a lot of good people, so it switches up a little bit. But the same people consistently do well, so you'd think it'd just kind of be down to what games you get, but really there's a lot of consistency and sort of gamer skill involved. We're all true gamers here, the important thing.
How do you think these players feel? I like Trisscorp especially has not really even been close to getting past this checkpoint.
Yeah,
it's the first match of top 8. The nerves are high. I hope that Trisscorp is able to kind of deal with this pressure.
Yeah, Trisscorp.
I would be pretty nervous as Trisscorp right now. I will say that it's sort of an intentional wall. This was also my experience playing the game, that this checkpoint took me way longer than a lot of the other ones, because it actually makes you understand how to play the game, whereas everything leading up to this point, you can kind of just guess your way through.
So,
Neetsel's killing it, though.
So one thing about Mystery Tournament is that you're also not allowed to watch the other player. So you never know where you are in relation to them. And so as a result, basically at all times, as soon as you make any mistake, you think, oh, well, my opponent didn't make that mistake, so I'm behind now, 100%.
Oh, Trisscorp.
Oh, gets the
yes,
flag.
the bark.
Good bark.
Okay, so keeping it a little bit close. Neetsel has been figuring, just like, how do I just do this jump? Like, it's just, I just want some distance here.
You can just roll, basically.
I consistently found myself trying to just roll towards where I wanted to go. And on this slope, you can see it's not working so well. You do need to sort of come up with a better mode of travel.
You could bark backwards with your back laying on the ground. Does that work?
It doesn't recharge your bark. You need to touch the ground with your feet. Or paws, I guess.
Oh, it has to be with your feet. Got it. This was submitted by Boney, our other top 8, another top 8 competitor. Oh, there we go. Neetsel with the. Oh no, it's so easy to lose your momentum.
Just missing the platform. Almost good enough platform to like get the last jump in. That would have been enough.
Yeah, it is a good sign though to see that you're there with too much speed, right?
Because
he killed all his speed. That we needed more. Which I think is an even better sign, because now Trisscorp knows I can go this fast, and if I want, I can slow down and go this slow. So you just get somewhere in between, and you're going to get it next time.
Going slow?
This is great. This is a long checkpoint Neetsel is on. Luckily, there's not a whole lot of... Like, you're probably not going to die here. It gives you this really tough jump where you need to reset your stuff while you're on the wall with no risk of dying.
Oh, Triss missed the checkpoint. Jump too far.
Sailed right over it. And that's why you do want to go a little bit slow sometimes, Murray.
Oh, this one was hard. The one Neetsel is on right now. This one took me like 5 minutes of my 15 minutes this whole game took me was on this checkpoint.
This is where I quit. I didn't finish this one. I did this for maybe 15 minutes. And I did it successfully and then failed the next part, and I cried and gave up. That was the privilege I had testing these games and not having to complete them here in front of this audience.
I did complete this game, but that was fresh-faced Internet Dirigible with like 5 tests under his belt. You know, once you get to the 150th test, things.
You're a changed man.
So
Yeah, you're a changed man. Things start to wind down a little bit.
the problem with this
And
transition,
I did not complete it anywhere near 15 minutes.
the problem with this transition is that you can't really bark, because in order to bark, you need to be upside down, like to get to the top right. But then
Right.
you land upside down on this stupid red thing and slide back down to the left. So, yeah.
Yeah, Neetsel was doing a lot of.
so
That's what I was
close.
doing a lot of. I kept trying to lean the wrong way. First of all, before barking, I discovered it was a sort of unintuitive thing to lean a different way to get the bark in. But you're right. It's always a bad landing on the red shape, and you're really at the mercy of where it is in its cycle, and just kind of a bit of good luck with how much rolling you have,
roll.
friction you have.
Oh, nice.
Just enough.
I do want to call out, someone in chat said this doesn't look that hard. I will say that the only reason Maurice is here with us today and in Mystery Tournament is because he watched Top 8 and thought that doesn't look that hard.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
now is winning tournaments. So maybe you're really just really good and you could compete with the best of them. So show up. We'd love to see you.
Yeah. Also, for what it's worth, this is so much harder than it looks. I mean,
Yes, it is.
I think the fact that these players are so good, and we know they're so good, and they're struggling this much, would make me terrified of this game if I didn't already know how hard it was
It's
myself.
true, yeah. Having seen, 50 or maybe 20 other Trisscorp matches, you know that this is a scary game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also,
The Neetsel holds on to the lead by a checkpoint here, but what a checkpoint it is. We
Yeah,
know it's
this is
really
long.
bad.
and the one Neetsel is on is pretty long as well. There's like 6 of these jumps you have to do across these balls. The thing that may not be apparent about the difficulty of this game is that the legs are controlled with your analog stick. So in order to jump, you kind of have to do like that Tiger Woods PGA golf movement. And it's inconsistent. Like sometimes you're just not gonna jump as high as you expected to.
Can you explain the Tiger Woods PGA golf movement? I'm not sure I'm privy.
Don't you
to
know
the-
that? Like it's like skate.
Maybe not.
Do you know skate? Or
Oh, yeah.
So like you control, like you pull back on the stick and then you flick it up. That's how you jump in this game as well.
Yes.
Except you do it the opposite way, but whatever.
This is playable on keyboard as well, but I think controller is really where you want to go with this. That's one thing we should mention. We don't mandate the way that the players control the games. Obviously, they're not allowed to like mod the game or use turbo buttons or anything.
Neetsel, you should have barked.
He had that backwards bark opportunity and then
Yeah.
rotated past it, and then it was too late.
It looked so good if you had barked. Yeah, there we go. See, that's what I meant. Like the
What?
bark just allows you to correct for all of this inconsistency in the jumps.
Oh, Trisscorp with a beautiful launch.
Rotate
Is
more.
it enough
Rotate.
to
Rotate.
stay? Oh, you could see he did such a good job of getting himself so far onto that block, and it was not good enough.
I wonder if he was rotating the whole way.
Yeah, I wonder. Maybe it was good enough, and he didn't quite
Rotate!
capitalize.
Oh.
He's gonna get it though.
Yeah, he had like 3 good tries in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, and also to shout out, the vast majority of what you'll see over the next couple days is easily available. This is free on itch.io, so check some of this stuff out if it looks interesting to you.
Yeah, people join Mystery Tournament for a lot of reasons, and I suspect most of the players in our top 8 today at least enjoy the competitive aspect of it. But lots of people join just to be a part of the community. Lots of people join to play games they would otherwise never play. And I'm guessing most of you watching right now would never be like, oh yes, Barkour. This is
My
definitely
favorite.
what I'm gonna pick up. You know, Elden Ring came out a week ago, but give me the dog jumping game, right? So it will kind of bring you out of your comfort zone, expose you to some really cool stuff, and I'm so happy that it's like a multifaceted thing that we get to do with everyone.
Okay, Trisscorp, on to this tougher checkpoint. But yeah, the one thing about this game is that on a checkpoint like Neetsel's, you can kind of do whatever you need to, but it does seem to have a pretty solid idea of exactly what movements you're going to need to do a lot of the time in order to make these checkpoints happen.
Oh, Triss, rotate.
Some games would probably be a little more open.
I don't know if Triss is rotating.
Whoa. Oh, that's got to be good enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Trisscorp caught up.
Oh, it had a weird little boost at the end there. I don't know what happened.
Oh, first try. Come on.
It didn't look like it was his legs.
No first try.
We've got a tie game.
Sort of. We like to say that because it's exciting, but it takes time to get the lay of the land, and Neetsel has it. Trisscorp doesn't. But Trisscorp got really far on that attempt, so maybe, I don't know.
If you had your MT commentator bingo card, it would talk about knowledge
advantage or something.
Yeah, knowledge advantage, where somebody made it to an area first so they understand it better, even though they're now on the same checkpoint.
This specific square that Neetsel is on, I think you just need speed to just jump over it. I don't think you can really jump from it.
It's a bit of a trap. And I understand the want to take it one step at a time in a game like this,
Triss.
right?
Should have barked.
Neetsel as well? Oh.
I don't think they're barking enough, which is not the thing I usually say about dogs.
It's a very good point.
Yeah. Please jump up in the air more.
Yeah, I definitely like it when my dog jumps and barks. Those are my two favorite things that my dog does.
Although if my dog did do a front somersault, I think that would be sick.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That would be encouraged. Yeah.
Yeah, a somersault and a bark in the middle, strong enough to propel themselves across the room. Really be a powerful moment.
Oh,
Whoa.
that's a big launch.
Oh,
the
but
bark
it's too
to
big.
save himself?
It's too big.
Oh.
Even the bark couldn't cancel all that momentum.
Well, the problem is Triss hadn't even seen what was coming there. You do have somewhat limited visibility. Even though you're so small on screen, you have to traverse great distances. This probably took inspiration from like Shadow of the Colossus, I would think.
Yeah.
Like all great,
Yeah, I
great
think
games.
that was it.
Yeah.
Now I want to put the score of Shadow of the Colossus underneath this game.
Yeah, what a game.
The swelling
Equally epic in
orchestral.
scale, I think.
I think Trisscorp has been doing generally better on this checkpoint.
I think you're right.
Just has kind of like the skill to go fast better than Neetsel. Neetsel is taking it kind of slow, and I think that's a trap.
I agree with you. It seems like there's too many angles where if you go slow, you're just going to be losing your momentum and you're not going to be making it.
Also, thank you so much to everyone in the chat. Our commentary is a little bit behind, so it's tough for us to respond to your questions and comments directly in any kind of reasonable manner.
No!
Trisscorp almost! So thanks to everyone who are answering questions. If you do have questions and stuff, there are lovely, helpful community members in chat waiting to answer them.
A large amount of them, I think. We get excited. This is our top 8. We're all here seeing everyone through.
This is a good setup. Come on, Triss. Go faster. Kind of lost the speed by jumping vertically up instead of like to the right.
See, when I get caught in that V-shape thing, my brain starts going like, no, I can save it. I can jump off this wall and then that wall and Jackie Chan my way out of this pit. That is foolish of me. And so Trisscorp is like, no, I'm dead. I'm going to reset and I'm going to start again fresh. And I think this is correct.
Yeah, the checkpoints are so short that, like I said, I am of the opinion that you should just go for it, try to go as fast as possible, and just kind of react fast enough that you can make it to the next checkpoint.
In your short time with this game, because you beat it so quickly, Maurice, did you feel like you were doing the exact same thing from every checkpoint? Like, okay, jump here, or were you just kind of guessing your way through and making it sometimes based on reactions?
I mean, there's like movements that work on every checkpoint, right? Like all the open checkpoints, just like lean to the right, jump, bark, so you go a little higher. Like you kind of learn that pattern, and a lot of the checkpoints are solvable with that. But there are those like the that climb with the bark earlier in the yellow, where you have to learn a new strategy, But really, a lot of it comes down to this.
Oh, one
So
final
close,
kick.
Chris.
Wasn't quite able to make solid contact. Yeah, no, you're right, Maurice. You can have this game plan, but it only lasts as long as your inconsistencies in those opening moves stack up. And eventually they put you in a completely unique position you've never been in before, and from there you're flying completely blind.
But that's also where the fun in this game is, I think.
Totally.
It's really fun to like react to like which way am I pointing, where do I want to land, do I have my bark?
It's just a good name too. Barkour is a really solid name for a game. I never forgot it. I saw it on like day 1 of testing, and it's been in my head ever since.
Oh, Triss, okay. Couldn't like get a jump, like a small jump to make it to the next one.
Oh, Neetsel gets that transfer off that difficult square that's been giving them so much trouble.
But this one's not much easier.
So needs to edge his way to the corner and then get a good launch off of it without going too far.
No.
Bark. I think if there was a rotation there that got his head out of the way, that maybe could have been something.
Like a hook.
Yeah.
Also could have maybe saved it towards the left.
Okay,
since
okay.
Just go.
Yeah,
the bark!
It.
Does a downward bark to touch the
bark.
platform sooner? What a strategy.
We are now in gift wrapping world.
Oh, it just extends the texture to your body, so now and then you turn a little blue.
That's because of the hardware limitations of freeware PC. Like on any, where they have in Mega Man the pickups change with your palette. Yeah, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
This checkpoint is easier than it looks. You just kind of bark yourself onto the vertical, like the spinner, and then you have infinite barks to make it to the middle. Like you don't actually have to climb the right side twice, only once.
You can get right onto the spinner from the ground?
From the first ledge, from that little hook.
Oh, okay. Oh, but you're saying you don't need to use that other ledge.
Exactly. Because getting there is
I wouldn't be
stupid hard.
Yeah. That doesn't look like a safe ledge because the wall angles away from you. That's too scary.
You see, if Triss had been a little earlier and landed with his feet or paws on the spinning block, he could have just barked infinitely to like balance himself to the middle.
Neetsel is still was a little bit short on where they wanted to be on the jump, so they're like, all right, I'll go a little bit faster with the bark, and then went way too fast with the bark. Like it is really still struggling from this sort of lack of control. But I say this, and then, oh my goodness.
Picture perfect.
That was just perfect control over everything, it looked like. Oh man, I'm sure if we have a little bit of delay, it's going to be me starting to say all of that right as he hits the checkpoint, and then it'll be perfect.
Yeah, Neetsel is doing a good job. Roll yourself up this ledge, and then when you have your right paw on the boulder, I guess. What are those things called in bouldering and climbing?
Oh, I don't know. You won't catch me in any of those places.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, we're commentating a video game tournament.
I watched the
don't know
Olympics.
if you understand.
They did that. I'm pretty sure it came up, and I forgot. But yeah, once you have your right foot on that little thing that I do not know the name of, then you can jump and just push your paws against the spinning thing. That's how I did it. Oh, Trisscorp did it. I wasn't even watching.
Yeah. I was also looking up times because Chad is talking about we have an estimate roughly on the screen of 25 minutes and the players are approaching it. And so I basically wanted to give players an idea of how well these two are doing, right? Because how do we know? We do know Maurice finished in 15 minutes, but I'd like to remind everyone he's playing in this top 8 event. He is one of the best. One of our other commentators finished it in 36 minutes. And one of them, myself, I didn't finish it. I quit. It was too difficult for me. So
did I finish this 36? That makes me pretty happy. I feel like that's decent.
Yeah. I think it is. I think it just speaks to that's how hard this game really is. That's why I bring it up. I just want to illustrate these two players are actually doing quite well because this game really is that hard. And Neetsel somehow finds that ledge.
Yeah, got kind of kicked onto it.
Oh,
I don't like the strat. I don't like the
crazy.
strat. He needs to jump higher than that. He didn't jump high enough. No.
Oh, I
Why
think
so
the ceiling wall hanging out, I think maybe ate some of the jump.
14 minutes, by the way.
That's what I'm talking about. This is why I said you are the greatest heel we've ever had.
This checkpoint is hard, the one Trisscorp is on. It's like really weird. It's not really clear what it even expects you to do. And then these footholds are small. They're tiny.
You've got a lot of momentum in this game, and the friction doesn't really stop you all that quickly.
And this is a pretty major.
What?
Oh my gosh.
The tail. Oh, wow.
That's a strong tail. Oh, and it's gone. I was just going to say, this is a double elimination tournament, and this is a loser's match. So the person who loses this is out of the tournament. Trisscorp, one of the best and most consistent players. Neetsel knocked our by the numbers easily best player and 4H out of the tournament completely. So a lot of eyes on this one, I would say. Really a lot of eyes on everybody in top 8.
Well, Neetsel jumps too late.
Yeah.
Like by the time he jumps, the cycle is already basically horizontal. And then once he lands, it's already to the left, and then he will not be able to make it to the right anyway.
Trisscorp again has just figured out the perfect tail stall to land. And then a forceful bark,
what a bark
into the corner, which prevented him from
far.
overshooting it.
Maybe something
Recoverable. Oh, the chin.
The hook.
Okay, what is the plan now?
Oh no, too far.
Over.
Okay.
Back?
Bark! No! What? Where are we going?
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Oh no,
Jeff, tell me. Oh, he's okay.
Oh my god!
That was an impressive recovery.
Wow.
It kept going.
Virtually, my hand reached out to one of you guys to like hold my hand, like as he was doing that.
Oh, what's that on Trisscorp's screen? There's something on the right there.
I see a flag.
Yeah.
Checkpoint?
No, I've seen checkpoints before. There.
I believe that's the end.
No, it's not the end.
This was a long time since Internet Ritual.
It's been like 3
Maurice is
months.
coming on fresh, but this is months ago.
I played so many. Many of them were not as good as this.
Oh no! Oh, it doesn't matter.
Fine, the checkpoint's right there.
Oh, nice.
Right, we got a ball.
That's right.
Oh,
And
you can't bark anymore because you have the ball?
No, you can bark. You can bark a lot now because the game even tells you, "Hey, mash bark."
How does that work?
It's a
Well,
really
because your
good
feet
ball.
are touching the ground. Oh, you mean with the ball?
Oh my god. Trisscorp's gonna just go back to the start. Okay, wait, he hit a... Is this good? You're going
Yeah,
backwards
yeah.
here?
Yes.
Now you need to do the run back.
Yeah,
Got
you play the entire game backwards now, which is way easier because you can infinitely bark on any kind of ramp or straight.
Yeah, and then the ramp will then serve as like a catapult, basically.
Yeah. There's like 2 hard checkpoints or something, but
Is this one?
yeah, I mean, just infinitely bark. Just kind of throw yourself in the direction of left. That should be good enough.
So that means it's going to be really hard for Neetsel to come back from this. Has to get this purple checkpoint, the tough blue tiny squares.
Yeah.
Not over yet, but it's very close. I like that adjustment. Trisscorp had already got a chance to launch off of that one square in much the same way before. And so realized I can't do the same thing. I got to do something else, and just kind of threw in a bark to slow down. And that's going to be a checkpoint.
I don't think Trisscorp is gonna stop here, and I think this may be it for Neetsel. This is why this platform is here, by the way. Like when you play it normally, you see this platform down here, you go there, and you can't get anywhere. And you're like, why is this even here? Oh, that was
almost. I think this is going to be it. I think we might be seeing our new fresh face and the big upset bringer taking out Andy.
Oh yeah.
But I think this may be the end.
This last jump is not trivial, but like it's not gonna take long enough. I think
It's
we
not a
are going to
whole-
get like the thing that everyone
whole
wants.
portion
which
of the game difficult. Yeah.
we are going to get to see what everyone wants to see in a second.
I can't wait.
I can't. Yeah, I'm excited. There
you
it
can
is.
pet the dog.
You use your analog stick to move the hand.
Aww. Wait. Oh no.
It's just
Just
the
the
ball.
ball.
At least it was the dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it restarts, and you can do it again if you want, I guess.
There's the dot done. 30 minutes and 3 seconds for Trisscorp is going to be moving on in Mystery Tournament. Neetsel is eliminated. So we typically let players finish. You're not under any pressure to quit out the game or whatever. But also, if players don't want to finish, they don't have to, and it looks like that is the case. Both players immediately in the race chat admitting they hate this game.
Why? This game is fun.
Well, they were stuck on those checkpoints for kind of a while. I'm guessing that had a little something to do with it. Sometimes a good game is hurt a lot by being a little bit too hard. And oh my god, the controls, yells Trisscorp, who is not a very loud person in general, but is using a lot of capital letters in the race chat.
Yeah, this is.
Well, that's going to do it for our first match. We have lots of matches. We're going to be going for a while today, a number of hours. So get comfy and stick around. We're going to set up for the next match. It is going to be our other losers bracket match, which means it is also an elimination match. It is going to be Okami of Games versus Boney. And, you know, we just saw, I don't even know what genre really to classify. I guess it's a platformer that we just saw. It could be anything coming up next. Especially here in top 8. We
And it is.
I wasn't lying at the beginning when I said we save our best, hardest, and weirdest games for top 8. Anything that sort of breaks away from standard conventions forces you to put your sort of innate gamer abilities to the test, right? Like if you've played a lot of platformers, you're probably going to be good at another platformer. But there's no way to be really good at something like Barkour, right? Like
Yeah.
you're starting from zero. And so that's really hard. And it's usually a challenge that we reserve for our best players. And even if they hated this game, I really am impressed with what they were able to do with it here today. And I can't wait to see what everyone else does with our other games coming up.
Absolutely. And our next match is Okami of Games versus Boney. And actually, we can see the previous matches that they've played. We have that set up. But they both Okami of Games is brand new. Boney is the oldest player that we have. So, like in the tournament, basically, there's
Basically.
one mystery tournament you can beat Boney with, and that's it. Oh, perfect. But we're gonna take a break.
Yeah, so please do not go anywhere. We will take a short break and come back with this next match, Okami of Games versus Boney. Stay tuned.